All right, so welcome back, and thanks for staying with us here on The Morning Rush. I am Desifadian, the Starboy, and I mentioned earlier that today we're talking about cloning, right? So DK Cyber is our guest this morning. Many of you who have watched movies, you must have, seen movies like that where they clone people, so it becomes a replica of another and all that. But how is that when it comes to IT and technical stuff, technological stuff, I beg your pardon. So I was talking to DK Cyber about that. DK, good morning.
Good morning, Senior.
You okay?
Good, yourself?
I'm good. You're dripping this. I like the shirt though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Small.
Fantastic. So, cloning.
Yeah.
Give us a layman's understanding, because everything about IT sometimes is very, technical.
I know, right?
So give us a layman's understanding of what cloning is.
All right, thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers. So we are looking at cloning. So when we say cloning, all that we are talking about is that creating an identical copy of a data, device, or system, often with malicious intent.
Okay.
So simple, creating an identical copy. It could be a data, it could be of a device, it could be of a software with the intentions of malicious activities to be done on. So your phone could be cloned, it's a device. A software like WhatsApp could be cloned, it's a software. Or a data about you can be cloned and they will use it to impersonate you. So in that context, that's why we see theft identity being speaking about quite often. So yes, that is cloning. So we are not looking at cloning as in the movies, but here we are talking about cloning in terms of device having a replica, an identical, and normally it's difficult to even differentiate between the original and the clone.
Okay.
So it becomes difficult, and you know that the intention of it is malicious. So they are doing that purposely to dupe you, to scam you, or to have something bad done on the space.
Okay.
So that's what we are looking at.
So basically, someone makes another version of what you have, like
yes.
a fake version of what you have, to be able to use that against you. Yeah. Is it an easy thing to do?
Yes, it is, because today, as you rightly said, the advancement in technology, if I have my laptop here, and you give me less than a minute, I can clone any software you could think of.
Oh, how?
Yes, seriously.
You can just clone?
Yeah, any software you could think of, any social platform you could think of. The hackers, or the people who practice what we call the cybersecurity or ethical hacking, we have something in Kali that we call the SE toolkit. That's a set. That's social engineering toolkit. And what this does is, as a social engineering tool, you have already, all the systems, all the platforms with softwares had already been developed already. So it's just a command you give it, and you give it a replica of, if it's Facebook. So that's how cloning is very serious. That's how most of our systems are being hacked, through cloning. Why? Because I will tell you that, you know what, you can gain 10K followers on Instagram or on Facebook or X, right? And I will give you a link. Right, through the link, click on the link to go and gain such followers. Let's say 10K. Now you click on the link, you will see another Instagram, like Instagram. The interface, everything is like Instagram.
Okay.
But if you don't, or if you are not able, or if you don't check the URL, that is the Uniform Resource Locator, where that is hosted on, or the domain name that site or that system is hosted on, you might likely put in your details. So you have a link. Mostly they have a link. Oh, you can gain followers. You click on the link. When you get there, they ask you to log in again. So in logging in, we are doing what? We are capturing your data.
Capturing the details.
And those details are saved in the Metasploitable console, or in the listener, right, where the hackers are harvesting such data.
Okay.
So you give it to them willingly. So irrespective of how you've gone through all the password techniques to set a strong password, if you are not careful about cloning, they could get your password easily, and they will put it on your system, and they change their password, and they hack you. So this time around, a software or an application has been cloned, or has been, and they have created an identical copy of it, right? And they are instructing you to do something. If you are not fortunate enough, whatever you do in that system goes to the bad guys. Because we said that the cloning is with malicious intent. So that is with the softwares or an application. We also spoke about device.
Yeah.
A device could be cloned.
So a mobile phone,
Why not?
what your laptop,
Yes.
your iPad, whatever that
Yes,
it
could be
is.
cloned. And we have a system even talking about we're using the spy app, right? Whereby it takes a copy of whatever happens on this device to the hacker
Okay.
with malicious intent.
Okay. So this seems very technical. You need to have the skills to be able to do all of these
not
things.
really. See, we have just an open source system. I don't want to mention softwares here, right? But we have a software like PyFisher,
Okay.
right? You can just go on open source and you can do it. It's an open source. These things that we are talking about today, the hackers are not doing any fancy job. They are not doing any technical thing. If I come and I have your computer, I can still clone it. I can still go to those open software. So it's best on us to know. If not, it's difficult to really prevent yourself from these things. Because if you don't know,
Yeah,
definitely-
I understand that why you say it's difficult, because sometimes you also want to explore your IT knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to be fishing around in some places and you see some links, you just, click on it without even thinking about it, and you get into that. So as users of IT, as users of our phones, laptops, all of those things, how can we prevent this? I mean, for the layman like me.
Thank you. Good question. So before I come there, very necessarily, this Christmas, we are going to the Christmas festivity. There are lots of companies that are going to be cloned. There are lots of offers that people are going to throw to you through your DM, through your social platform on WhatsApp.
Discounts
that
and all of
discounts
those
are
things.
going on. So they normally use the popular supermarkets, and I could cite an example like the Mercoms and the rest, the ShopRite and those big stuffs. And they have, we know that definitely they will run promo. So these hackers clone their interface. They get the source code of their interface, just clone the interface and throw it to you that, you can gain this discount over here. And going to gain the discount, they harvest your data. So you should be careful. Now, coming to how you and I, we can detect it. Let's speak from the basic understanding, all right? Now, the first thing is always check the domain where that thing is hosted
Okay.
from.
What is the domain?
Good. So you always see a link that comes to you. Before you click on the link, before you go to the website, you always have maybe www.ecobank.com, www.metrotv.com, right? That is the link, right? Now, these people are telling you that, it's a Mercom or a Cyber One Defense giving out a promo to 8 courses, right, or to our courses. Now, you check the link that I have sent to you or the person has sent to you. He has said that the company is Cyber One Defense. So, ideally, you should expect something like maybe www.cyberonedefense.com.
Okay.
But this time around, the link that came was www.bit.ly at some numbers before you see Cyber One Defense inside.com. That means that the bit.ly over there, they have changed the URL. They have shortened that URL. That means that, every site, every genuine site is hosted.
Okay.
And before you can access such hosting platform, there's a link to it. That's the domain, right? That's the URL, right? So they have a domain name, right? And that domain name, before we can access it, we go through the URL, right? So that's the www.google.com, www.metrotv.com. Now, good. So now, because already Metro TV is genuine, they can't have www.metrotv.com again.
Okay.
So what they will have is that they will have maybe www.metrotv Ghana G8 something. They will add something to it to change the domain. So you always have to verify. Now, the important education here is that anytime a link has been sent to you, what is it talking about? Which company is involved? They say Metro TV. Why don't you go on Google and search for Metro TV official website and go there?
Okay.
That's simple. You don't click on the link. That gets you about promotion, gets you about an offer. What company is giving an offer? Is it Mercom? Is Mercom heading on the internet? No. You just go to Google.
Okay.
You ask Grandpa, where is Mercom? They will give you the official site.
Okay. I know that these entities, that's where a lot of people fall prey to. But I would appreciate if we we sticking to Metro TV.
Yes, yes,
and,
that,
and
yes,
Cyber
that,
One.
yes,
Yes.
that's fine. So we just use we just cited that as an example. So we maybe Cyber One Defense, we are giving let's say an offer,
discount
a
for
discount
Christmas,
for Christmas,
for consultation,
come for consultation and all those things. So when you go to Google, they said that a link has come to you from Cyber One Defense. If maybe you don't know our official website, just go to Google Cyber One Defense.
It will pop up.
It will pop up. If it's Metro TV will pop up.
Okay.
And just that you click on it, then it takes you there.
So it just has to be, whichever way, it has to be www.metrotvonline.com.
You see, even instances where these guys are more technical and they going through certification level. You know, Metro TV, the way we spell Metro TV, right? They can change it.
Okay.
ME can be MO.
Okay.
And if you are not careful, you might not see the spelling.
True. Though, when such links are sent to you, I know there's just a funny way that you never notice that,
if you are not careful,
the spelling is not right. So you just look at the .com and like, okay, Metro TV here, and then just gone, wow.
Yeah. So normally it comes through Office.
Okay.
Normally comes through Office because it's a phishing attack, and they've cloned Cyber One Defense sites and they are using it. Right, so because of that, you will definitely fall for it because you also want such an offer. Right, so in instances like that, what we tell people is that you kind of go and check it, right? Or better still, you can still go to some platforms like Virus Tutor, right? We've done that scenario here before. Virus Tutor, just the Virus Tutor, and you just with the link that has been sent to you there. It runs a scan against powerful antivirus softwares and tell you that, you know what, this is clean or not clean. Then you know that you are not going there. So you can use the Virus Tutor. You can even use the URL scan to check that. .org, to check that. And that will be able to help you this morning. But,
thank you, Dike, for that. But if you're being cloned, you will never know it.
Yeah, so normally when you're cloned, or when those platforms are cloned, it's just an identical copy of it. So if you are not very technical, you know see it. But what it helps you to check is that if I'm on Facebook login details or I'm on Cyber One Defense website, I will see www.cyber1defense.com.
Okay.
Right, www.cyber1defense.com. But this one, you see it's being hosted on a different domain name. Right, using a different domain name. So you see www.cyber1defense.com 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some numbers, some certain things add up to it, and that really doesn't make sense. And so it changes the domain name entirely and makes it a different site altogether. So the very first thing that you use to check is that the domain link, right? However, we also spoke about a data or an identity. So an identity can also be cloned on the space for malicious intent. Right. So like you, Starboard, you have your presence as good in emceeing and whatever you do. Right. People would try to treat badly with that. Right. It could be an organization. It could be a service. Right. So people can clone that on a different platform. So say you are on Instagram, someone can clone you on maybe other platform like LinkedIn. That is why I tell people that it's imperative on us that when we start these online businesses, we should get all the platforms, even if you are not using it. You know what the Americans do? What they do is that even when they are buying domain for website, like metrotv.com, they'll buy metrotv.org, metrotv.net, so that nobody gets that to scam people. Because someone could see, it could be metrotv.com, but metrotv.org is different. If you type cyber1defense.com, cyber1defense.org is different.
They're different.
Yes. So people can use the other side.
The other ones too.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. That it's imperative on us that we have to avoid such cloning and other things. What we can also do is that we try to get an identity on all the trending platforms so that you know you are safe. Even if you are not there, just create the account and leave it. Right. Just create the account and leave it. Because if you are not fortunate, someone, because you are doing very well, I know Ghana here, people are very Instagram type, people are very X type, people are very Facebook type, YouTube type, and they forget the other side. So someone can be trading on the same content you put on this platform on the other side. And we'll be making that money or be duping people with your name. Right. And also what we have to do is we always have the footprint on our names to avoid such cloning. You don't know, you just go on Google and search for your name. and look at what people have said about you, what platforms are
Oh,
saying.
that's the footprint here.
Yeah, that's a footprint. That's the
Oh,
OSINT.
okay, okay. So occasionally you just go onto Google.
Google
I'm putting
and search your name.
Okay.
Just Google your name, especially the people like you, Starboy. You're training in Ghana
let
here,
me
so
see.
that you have.
Let me get to Google and check what people are writing about me, so that if there's anything, I know that I'm being cloned with that. So you're still watching the Morning Rush. Today we're talking about cloning with DK Cyber. We'll be wrapping up very soon. Let me see what is here. Okay, some YouTube.
You can do that. You can have time go through.
Okay, some
You can
YouTube
use the,
stuff.
You can use the people search. You have other sites that
Okay.
can help you do the OSINT, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense. So people, it's difficult when you strive to get the things that you want for yourself, and someone else, takes that from you.
A lot of figures has been cloned. Yeah, the identity have been cloned, and people are using them. If someone will clone you, that means for malicious intent. There's no way someone will clone you
for a good intent.
Why?
It'll always be for a bad intent.
Yes, for malicious intent. Yeah.
So let's just be careful about that. But can't be too careful. Maybe sometimes you can be so careful about it that but there will still be a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you see, when we talk about security, we don't have 100% security.
Okay.
We can always mitigate the vulnerabilities around us, right? We are all the things we're saying this morning is our mitigations.
Okay.
How we can bring them down, right? But we cannot take them. We cannot have a zero system, a zero security something. No. So all that we are saying is that it helps your chances of protecting yourself.
Okay.
It's high. Right, because so that those basic attacks could not work on you. Because if you really and truly, if you should check the Ghana ecosystem or the threat ecosystem, right, most of these attacks has been social engineering and basic things that people don't know, and they tread upon that. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are mostly there because if you are talking about an advanced system, these things they are very expensive. And guess what? These fraudsters, hackers are they are not that resourced.
Be able to.
Yeah, in Ghana, here, that's what I'm saying. Unless maybe the attacks are coming from foreign.
elsewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, right? So mostly the best thing here is that education, awareness.
Okay.
Being aware of these things. So this morning you know that you can be cloned.
You can be cloned.
So that is in the back of your mind. So you'll be there and you check Google to find where you are. You go on another social platform, just Google your name, just search your name. Maybe you're not on LinkedIn. You go on LinkedIn and search your full name and see. Maybe
someone has used
yes,
your
there are
account.
instances whereby the names are the same.
Okay.
But where you get to the platform and the person has your name and using your image, that means the person is cloning you on that platform for malicious intent. You might never know. Yeah. You'll be there working somewhere and someone will just come and knock you because you took something from him. That may not be you. Yeah.
DK, thank you so much this morning for the education. Really, really appreciate that. So DK Cyber is with Cyber One Networks and Cyber One Defense, right?
Yes, Cyber One Defense Communication.
Cyber One Defense Communication.
Yes, and also very importantly, coming 18th and 19th, that is just this Saturday and Sunday, we are doing book fair.
Oh yeah.
We are doing book fair. As it pass by, we have almost about millions of books. Come and pick books and go and read for free. We have snacks available. Everything is for free. You pick 1 to 3 books, you take it along, you go and read it, and that's it. We are changing the mindset.
Yeah. So at this point, it is one book, one snack. So it's this weekend happening at the offices.
Yes, right? Abilimpi. I just sent the Central Mosque.
Okay, okay. All right. So DK, thank you so much for coming this morning.
Senior.
All right. So DK Cyber, our regular guest on the show when it comes to IT stuff this morning, talking to us about cloning, very, very important.